We're live. Hey everyone, welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star the Flippin' Hippo, and today is Tuesday, February 9th. We're just gonna kind of hang out and riff for a minute while we wait for some folks to get in here. It is February 9th. Apparently, when I put up last night's video of what sold on eBay, both, not just one, but both the thumbnail and the title, I put January 1st through January 7th as the dates of the that I was covering on the what sold. So I was still back in January. But it is February 9th, and it is a Tuesday, and hopefully y'all can hear me and see me, and we'll just keep waiting for some people to come in. Before I get into the meat of the show, I don't like to start right on in. I know that some folks don't even get the notification until I've already been on for a couple of minutes. There's like a slight delay between when I actually go live and when YouTube notifies people. And I know that some folks like to wander in a little bit late, and who wants to go back and watch a replay for a couple of minutes. So while we wait for folks to come in, we're just going to kind of riff and chat about a couple things. We have a lot of new people in the Facebook group, like a lot. I have been adding dozens of folks several times a day. So if you see new people in the Facebook group, say hi to them, welcome them. Be as you, whoops, I'm going to throw stuff. This is a tool that I am playing with. There's a story behind that, but I don't know if Keith wants me to tell you how he broke his chair. Anyway, if you see new people in the Facebook group, say hi to them, welcome them in. We have a reputation as one of the nicest groups, one of the most positive reselling groups, full of the nicest people. I actually get messages and emails on a daily basis from a lot of people thanking me for running one of the nicest groups on Facebook. On a daily basis, people are just sending messages thanking me that they were able to ask a question that they were ridiculed for elsewhere. And that's not, it shouldn't be me that they're thanking. It should be all of you, because you guys are what makes the group so positive and such a great place to be, because you guys are just amazing. If you're not in the Facebook group, you should be. It's a really amazing group, and everyone in there is super duper nice, and I would like to keep it that way. I would like to keep our reputation as one of the best reselling groups and the most positive, full of really great people who are absolutely great at helping you out and answering your questions. And there's no such thing as a stupid question in our group. People are really nice. So if you're not in the group, let me put a link to it real quick for you guys. You can ask to join. You do have to wait for approval. There's a couple of questions before you join. If you want, no pressure, you can sign up for my newsletter. You can put your email in during the process of asking to join the Facebook group. It asks you for your email. You don't have to put it in if you don't want to. I send out an email like once a week, just like a newsletter with updates from the reselling community and what happened on my YouTube channel that week. And then like when big news comes out from eBay, I'll send out emails. And then it just kind of asks you in several different ways a couple of times to read the rules and make sure you've read the rules and followed the rules. That's about it. All right, let's say hi to some folks in the chat. Lindsay Richardson is here. Watching while listing. I love to hear when you guys are using your time wisely and multitasking. It's great. Pame, I hope I'm saying that right. I feel like I say that every week. Like I feel like I butcher your name every week, but I do appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Hey, Jamie, welcome in. New to the group. That's awesome. Bobby Joe, welcome in. Lindsay, thank you so much. That's nice of you to say. Let's put that up there. So yeah, if you're not in the group, join the group. Don't thank me. That was really loud. I dropped it. Don't thank me for the group. Thank the members. If you wonder what I just dropped, it was an Allen wrench. Long story short, without totally embarrassing Keith or ending it with him killing his computer chair is really old. And we're trying not to buy new furniture or big purchases before our big move because it's more stuff you have to move. So anything we want to replace, we're just kind of like making do and then leaving that stuff behind and buying new once we've moved. But his computer chair said, I ain't going to make it. And it broke while he was playing World of Warcraft last night. So we had to go buy him a new chair today and he had to put it together. So, you know how I am. Let me get a pen. Let me play with the pen. It's less loud. Gary Barry's mom is here from snowy Connecticut. It's snowy here in Pennsylvania as well. It's really gross. I'm not a happy camper today. The fact that we had to go out to get a chair, we decided to go get some other stuff done while we were out and about. And I won't miss the cold and I won't miss the snow. I can guarantee you that. Thrifty Space Queen's here. Welcome in. And Amber. All right. I think we have chatted and fiddle-farted around enough. We've got 32 people in the chat. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, guys. We're going to jump into the topic at hand. So we're going to talk about 5 fast fixes to increase your eBay sales. The reason I want to talk about this tonight is because our sales seem to be down recently, and I can't blame it on us anymore. I could blame it on us for a little while. Those of you that regularly watch the channel and our What Sold videos are well familiar and have heard that for most of December, for various reasons, the holidays, the slow shipping, we had to go check out neighborhoods in Florida. Just a bunch of stuff was going on. We took most of December off. And then when January came in, we didn't take it off, but we were listing less than normal because we were dealing with a bunch of stuff on our wholesale, the side of the business. And we were working on the 2 guides that we just dropped, the Plush guide and the 2021 updated Plush guide and the 2021 updated clothing guide. If you haven't gotten a copy of those, the links are down below. If you want to purchase them, there's a deal if you get both in a bundle. But we were working on those and the wholesale business. So we were not doing what we should as far as eBay. You got to list every day. You got to be consistent. You've got to list every day. You've got to be listing enough to replace what you're selling as well as growing the amount of listings you have if you want to see growth. And because we took most of December off and kind of, for lack of a better term, half-assed most of January, we knew that the last half of January was going to continue to be slow. But then we really kicked into gear, and we have a ton of stuff here to list. We've got tons of wholesale, tons of items here, and we've really been kicking it into gear and doubling down, not just on eBay, but on Poshmark and other platforms. And we're doing the thing. We're doing what we're supposed to do. Consistency, listing more than what we normally would, all of the best business practices and everything. And I feel like sales are still a little slow. So if anyone else's sales are still feeling a little bit slow, there are some things that you can do on the back end to kind of give your store a kickstart. Now, there are things that you can do consistently and routinely every single day over time to see growth in your business and more sales and more profits. And those are things like listing every day and increasing your amount of listings. But those are things that you have to do consistently every single day over time. And those take time to see the benefits from your input. These things I want to talk about tonight these are things that you can do consistently all the time and absolutely see them pay off over time. If you do these 5 things all the time, routinely, you will definitely see the payout continually, and the payout will get bigger and better. But these are also things that you can just do like at the drop of a hat. I'm just going to pick one of these things and just do it one time just to kind of get a jump start and get things revved up and get sales moving in my store. Now, I recommend always to do all 5 of these things routinely, consistently, all the time, every day. These are some of the best businesses, take two. These are some of the best business practices and some of the back end things that I suggest you guys do all the time anyway. So, excuse me. I suggest that you do these routinely and consistently. But if you don't have time to do these routinely and consistently, that's fine. But if you need a boost in sales real quick, if you notice things are slow, if you want to get things just revved up a little bit, you can pick one of these and just do one, and you'll see results. It's kind of a way to blow some air, blow some life into your store. Yes, Robert and I both say fiddle fart around or fart around. Don't fiddle fart around. One of my other favorite ones is do as I say and don't do as I do, because I can teach you guys all the ways. I can show you the way. I can absolutely preach to you night and day of what you should be doing. And a lot of the times I'm not doing it. It's terrible. I feel like my mom when I was a kid. Do as I say and not as I do. For example, when I was fiddle farting around in January and December, and our sales were low. But to be fair, I wasn't fiddle farting around, like lounging on the couch and binging Netflix or playing World of Warcraft nonstop all day and night. I was working. We were just working on wholesale and other parts of our business. Anyway, don't fiddle fart. Don't fiddle fart around. Alyssa, welcome in. And Hawaii Flower Child is here. Welcome in, welcome in. All right, we're going to start with number 1. One of the best things you can ever do for your store, and I have actually done entire videos just on this one thing. Drop the stale items out of your store. The poop. Get rid of the poop. You don't have to necessarily get rid of them altogether if you don't want to take the loss. You can revamp them. Or you can just drop them. And by stale items, I mean items that have been around for 9 months to a year or longer. That's considered stale. I'm here to tell you. I'm here to tell you the truth about what stale actually is. I know that a lot of new resellers think that they're going to sell their items quickly and it's going to be fast and it's going to be great. It's not. The reality is, and I'm currently working on a jeans guide, and I did help out extensively on Keith's clothing guide with him. I'm here to tell you it is a very rare brand and item within that brand of used clothing that sells within 3 months. It has to be like a very sought after brand, and within that brand, it has to be something that's in style or very sought after. A very good example would be, I think I have the jeans guide I'm working on pulled up just to show you. I've already got 100 things gone through, and I've got one item that sells faster than 3 months, and that's BKE men's specifically. So that's what I'm here to tell you. Within the world of used clothing, most used clothing is going to take 3 to 6 months. That's the average where most of them fall. They're going to take 3 to 6 months to sell. That's just on paper. That's the math. That's what it works out to be. Will you list items that will sell overnight or within a week or within a month or 2 months? Absolutely. Could you list a poop item that would sell within a couple of days? Yeah, because you might list it at the right time, at the right place, and the right person sees it and buys it. But generally speaking, and from doing the guides and from doing the work on Terapeak and Sellhound on eBay, looking up the sell-through rates, doing the research that we've done, very, 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 very rarely do things sell faster than 3 months. The majority of used clothing takes 3 to 6 months, and a lot of your bread and butter items are going to fall within 6 to 9 months. It's over 9 months is when it's considered poop. Crap items or stale, because not everything you buy is going to sell. Remember that too. You could buy an item that's good. You could buy a very decent bread and butter item, a very decent high-end bread and butter item. You could buy a bolo item that just for some reason doesn't sell. Not every item is going to sell. For whatever reasons, sometimes some things just don't sell, and they could have been a decent buy that everything pointed to, this is a good buy, and it sat for 9 months to a year. Now it's stale, right? And for those of you that have ever purchased our clothing guide, that's how we break it down in there. When you see all the 150, we have 150 some brands in the clothing guide, and we have the sell-through rates on that guide for you guys, and they're divided, but they're color-coded, yellow, red, and green. And that's the time frame. Obviously, green is 3 months or faster. And that's what I'm doing with the jeans guide I'm working on. So 3 months or faster would be green. 3 to 6 months is yellow, which is normal average. 6 to 9 months is okay too. And then just as a side note real quick, your plush is even slower than that. So your plush is even slower than used clothing. So if you have a plush that's been sitting around 9 months to a year, it's not stale yet. Okay? But as far as your used clothing, 9 months to a year, it's considered stale. If you bought something that was a mistake or it's a bad brand and you've learned since then, these are all things that would be considered stale or poop that you want to get out of your store. Something that's old, it's been around, that's stale. Something that you know now, oh, that was a poopy brand, I shouldn't have bought it. That's a bad size, I shouldn't have bought it. That's a bad style, I shouldn't have bought it. Why is that still sitting there 9 months later? Oh, because I didn't know how to take pictures 9 months ago, and believe me, I didn't either. Those are crappy pictures. That's a horrible title. I didn't know what I was doing back then, but now I've learned. Now I know the title formula. Things like that. So just go through your store periodically, look at the old items. If they're absolute poop and you know better, you probably do just want to delete them, take them out, redonate them, and take that loss as a tax write-off. But if it's something that you can rework, just take it down, put it in your drafts, redo the photos, redo the title, make sure that you're using that formula that the eBay algorithm wants, and good keywords, put good photos in. Item specifics are now so important. You got to have those required item specifics to show up in the searches, and just rework it and then put it back in. And now it's not stale anymore. But you want to make sure that you end it so it goes to the unsolds. Rework it by selling it similar. Yeah, so before it goes to the drafts, okay, let me be a little more clear. So if it's stale, old, crappy, whatever, and you don't want to redonate it, you want to rework it, end it, go to the unsolds, sell similar, and if you need to do the photos or something and you need to save it to drafts. Sell similar, save to drafts, work on it in the drafts. That way it becomes a new listing and it's no longer stale. Do you see what I'm saying? You have to sell similar for it to be a new listing to the searches, to the algorithm. Anything that's stale, and like I said, I'm trying to keep this short and sweet. I've done whole videos on the first thing, the drop the stale items. But items that are stale, that are just sitting there, it makes Cassini see your items as undesirable, and therefore she will push all your items in your store down in the searches because she's now seeing you as having undesirable items because the algorithm is somehow showing her that your items are undesirable. Even if you've got some Robert Grahams over here and some Rock Revival jeans, if you've got 100 stale poopy items that are just sitting there dragging you down, it's going to drag your whole store down. And that's why you want to check for that stale stuff. The formula is, I have videos on this, and it is what it is, gender, size, and then your keywords in order of importance. So brand, what it is, gender, size, keywords in order of importance. So Miss Me, jeans, women's, size, or you can do vice versa on that part. That's not that important. So yeah, I'm just confusing you. I really wish I could link a video, but then you'll leave the live show. Brand, gender, what it is, size, keywords in order of importance. So Miss Me, women's, jeans, size, 25, your keywords, and you want them most important to least important. My opinion is the style of the jeans is most important, flare, boot cut, skinny, then the rise, then the wash, etc. But that's the formula. If you need to look at later, I have like a less than 5 minute long video. You can search my channel for the eBay formula. But that actually was given to us at eBay Open by the eBay corporate executives, that it is formulated into the algorithm for Cassini to look for that. So if Cassini sees it's coded into her like system, she looks for that. So titles that have that formula, Cassini takes those titles and gives them preferential treatment and pushes them up in the searches. So if you have the proper formula and you have it in the order that Cassini likes it, that she's coded to look for, you get that preferential treatment. If you don't have that formula, you're going to get shoved down. So brand, gender, what it is, size, keywords in order of importance. The way that would apply to Plush, you want brand, what it is, and I consider size the inches, and then your keywords. So dandy, bunny, 10-inch plush, rabbit, pink, Easter, spring, toy, stuffed animal. Classic toy company, monkey, 12-inch plush, sticky hands, Valentine's Day, you know, and then you just cram your keywords up. So, but if you need it, I do have a whole video on that. Okay, so drop your sale items, number one, just by going through and just, you know, it, like I said, this can be a one and done, quick fix. Go through, pick 10. You might see a difference. If you do this all the time, you'll definitely see a difference. Number two, make sure you're running sales. You do have to have a store subscription to do that. So if you don't have a store subscription, you cannot utilize this. But if you have a subscription, you can. Here's the thing. If you are paying for a store subscription and you're not running the markdown sales in your store, you are doing yourself a disservice. Another thing that Cassini's coded to look for to give preferential treatment in the searches is listings of sales. So if you have a sale running, your items get pushed up in the searches over items without the sale. It's just how it is. And that is why we price 25% above what we want, and we run sales 24 hours, 7 days a week around the clock. You have to have the sales stop and end, because if you have a sale running never ending, it does not create a sense of urgency with your buyers. You have to have the sales ending at some time so a buyer can see the sale ends in a day or 12 hours, creates a sense of urgency within the buyer so that they buy it. Because if they see that it's a 45-day sale, hey, I'm going to come back, they never come back. So we have sales that start Sunday night and Wednesday night, start Wednesday night and Friday night through Sunday night. You can figure out how you want to do it, but I recommend like every 2 to 3 days you got stop, start, stop, start. I put like a half an hour in between the stop and the start. But price your stuff really high, higher than what you want so that you're able to run those sales, because when you have the sales on, you get preferential treatment in the searches. And it creates a sense of urgency with your buyers, and it's also a psychological thing with buyers. Buyers are more likely to buy a pair of jeans that is 25% off at $19.99. Then a pair of jeans that has no sale on, that's $19.99. I don't know why. It is just the way our minds are built. We are built to look for bargains and sales. And generally speaking, if a buyer is faced with the same price of jeans and one has a sale on it and the other one doesn't, they're going to go for the one that has the red and the slash through and the markdown. That's going to be the one they're going to pick. Not to mention that one's going to be ahead of the other one in the searches. Let's see what video the boys put up. By the way, welcome in to David and Bill. No, that's the longer video. I believe that's the long video on the keywords. There's a shorter one. But welcome into Bill and Dave. That's Gnome and the Frog there, guys, with the wrench. And here is the, I don't even know where I'm at right now. Here is the link to the video that has the keyword formula, and it's an under 5-minute video. I would sell vintage plush with a missing eye. I mean, you can sell it. I would. Just disclose it and show a picture of it. Somebody out there that wants it would still want it. Yeah, sticky hands instead of Velcro. Absolutely. Okay, so number 3. This kind of ties back in with the number 1 when I was going over check your stale listings. Check all your titles in your store, not just your stale listings. Double check your new listings too. Check your titles. Make sure you've got that formula in your titles. Make sure you have good, solid keywords. Make sure your keywords are in order of importance. And when I say order of importance, think like a buyer. When you search for something to purchase, think of how you would look for it. Let's say I wanted to look for a Baby Yoda coffee mug. I would look for Star Wars Baby Yoda coffee mug. I mean, I might type in Disney, but as a buyer, I probably wouldn't. As a seller, I would probably put Disney Star Wars as the brand. But I would put, coffee mug ahead of teacup if I was listing in the title. If I was a buyer and I was looking for jeans, I would be looking for boot cut over the wash. I think most people look for the cut of the jeans. They want skinny jeans. They want dad jeans, boyfriend jeans. That's a search that they look for more often than the wash of the jeans. That's why I always put the wash at the end. And when you're putting in plush stuffed animals, if an animal has more than one way to say it's what it is, like a bunny or a rabbit, think of what's more popular. What would more people be looking for? Right now, more people are probably looking for bunnies because we're close to Easter. So you want to put bunny up front of rabbit. You want to cram Easter in there too. But just think like a buyer. Like if I was a buyer and I was going to look for whatever I'm listing, what would I search for? And those are the words you want to put first, and you want to put the least important ones in the back. And you want to make sure that you are using words that buyers would look for. So don't use those superfluous. Okay, well, let's not use that word because I apparently can't say it today. Don't use words like cute, pretty, rare. Okay, I cannot tell you how much the word rare bothers me. And Pam, a lot of the jeans nowadays actually tell you the cut of the jeans on the tag somewhere or on the band. Otherwise, you actually have to measure the leg opening. And I have some videos on how to do that. And then the rest of it just comes with learning and experience. Words are very hard, especially when I'm tired. So yeah, jeans, sometimes if you can get them with boot cut or skinny or boyfriend or mom or whatever on the band or the tag, you're set. Otherwise, you have to measure it, or just kind of eyeball it, and that kind of comes with just time and learning. You can watch my videos. You can go through my store and Megan's store and look at what we have listed and kind of learn from there. And now I have, titles. The word rare is so overused on eBay, it's disgusting. I have seen people put rare on stuff I know ain't rare. It's not rare. And be careful with the word vintage as well. If you have something that's clearly vintage, by all means, please put vintage in your title. If your Garfield has 1998 on his tag and you have a picture of it, put vintage. But if you can't clearly say that your listing is vintage, don't try to put vintage in the title. Don't say your thing is rare. Don't say it's cute. Don't say it's pretty. Don't use any adjectives that people aren't looking for. I'm sorry, but I'm not looking for pretty jeans. You know what I mean? Use words that people are actually looking for. I do use stuffed animal as a keyword in addition to plush, but I put it towards the end. So most of the times, let me see if I could pull up something I just listed today, and I will read you the title. I just listed a couple of plush today. Yeah, I'm trying to cram in a ton of really good advice tonight, and I'm hoping I'm not talking too fast or just at you guys. There will be a replay up later if you need to come back and listen again and take notes or anything. Okay. So this guy. Here, let me share my screen with you so you're not just looking at my face while I holler at you. Thank you for the link there, Bill and David. Okay, so now I'm sharing my screen. Okay, so I listed this guy today, right? He's a good example. So he's vintage, and I can prove it because it says 1999 right there, right? So I put vintage, brand. He's a Precious Moment Pals. And then what he is, Alec the Lion. And then his size, technically plush. And then stuffed animal. And then his year and the word toy. And then, let's see how. We've got Baby Gans, dog, plush. It's got a rattle. And then also on his tag, he had Wee Tea Pink Puppy. He does. I'm not kidding. Wee Tea Pink Dog. So he's Wee Tea. Though that should say Baby Gans Puppy. This should say Wee Tea Pink Dog. I'll have to fix that. And then it's an infant soft stuffed animal toy. So just depending on the animal, usually stuffed animal is like the last thing I put, but sometimes toy is last. This one didn't have room for the word stuffed animal, so I just put BAB for Build-A-Bear at the end. This one has stuffed animal. I put a couple more in here. So yeah, you can kind of see how I put my stuffed animal titles in there. All right. I will never not talk with my hands. Never, never, never. I will never not talk with my hands. Hey, Anna, welcome in. All right, so number 4, check your prices. Check your prices. Drop something by 5%. Sometimes it helps. You guys know that I'm all about pricing high, pricing stuff. What? Words are very hard. Excuse me. Price stuff at what it's worth. Price above the competition or right at the competition. Leave yourself room for sales. Leave yourself room for best offers. Price things at what they're worth. I cannot stand that race to the bottom and the fast nickel. Okay, that is a whole other soapbox. But sometimes you have to give a little, right? So I drop our prices regularly. I typically give our clothing 2 to 3 months at its starting point, and then I will drop it 5% every month until it reaches the point where I'm like, okay, that's low enough, I feel, for what this is, and that's going to vary from thing to thing. It depends on the brand and what it is and how it's going to ship. Is it a padded flat? Is it a 2-ounce Build-A-Bear shirt? Is it a 3-ounce bikini top? Or is it, jeans and a padded flat? But typically after like 3 months at full price, or 2 months sometimes in some cases, I'll start dropping 5% once a month if things won't sell. And when it hits like my personal lowest that I want, and it's going to depend on that item, that brand, then I'll let it sit until I consider it stale at about 9 months to a year. Then I let it go to clearance. And again, first class clearance is going to be different than jeans because jeans cost a lot more to ship. And then I try to auction them off sometimes. And then a lot of times I'll just pull it and redonate it after that. But now you're looking at like a year and a half of being around and not selling. And by that point, it's like, let it go. But maybe just look at your prices sometimes. Has something been around for 3 or 4 months? Could you drop the price by 5%? Have you ever tried running a sale on it? And sometimes your prices are too low. I'm going to tell you this right now, especially with Plush. I know a lot of times when people comp Plush, they get a little nervous because I know when I look at Plush and I go to comp them, I'll see a Build-A-Bear I have, and there'll be 2 of them listed for $17 and $20. And I'm like, hey, that's what I feel like that Build-A-Bear is probably worth. And then I see everybody and their brother that has it at $2 free ship and $4 free ship. And here, I'll pay you plus write a check and put it in there with it for you to take it off my hands. That's me being facetious. I hate people who price things too low. But you see all these people that price things too low, and I know that some people get kind of like, I'm new to Plush and I don't know. So they'll price their stuff too low. Well, the thing is sometimes there is a perceived value on things based on what the buyers see in the price. And they don't go into the listing to look or to read or to look at photos, and they will just base a perceived value on the price. So if they see Robert's Build-A-Bear is listed at $20 and Star's Build-A-Bear is listed at $18.49, and then they see David's Build-A-Bear listed for $8 free ship, they're going to assume that David's Build-A-Bear has damage or something's wrong with it. Most times, 9 times out of 10, psychologically, they're going to look at that and be like, why is his price so low? There's got to be something wrong with his. And they're not even going to go in his listing and look and see and read and see for themselves. There might be nothing wrong with his. His Build-A-Bear might even be in better condition than mine or Robert's. But the fact that it's priced so low puts off this perceived value that it has damage or something is wrong with it. So sometimes you want to check your prices and maybe raise them a little and give your item some perceived value. And I'm going to tell you this, and I've said it before. It happens to me all the time. I will look and I will see 10 of something listed far below what I think it has value at. And I will list mine much higher, and I do it assuming I'm going to have to wait for the other 10 Pikachus to all sell because they're all so cheap. And I'm like, well, you know what? I'm going to wait 6 months to a year. The other 10 will sell, and then my Pikachu will be the only one, and it'll go for 20. And I'm surprised it'll go within a month or two, because apparently my Pikachu being more expensive and most instances having better photographs than everyone else and better keywords and better titles gives it a better perceived value, and it will sell first. ahead of all of the cheaper ones. So keep that in mind. Sometimes your prices are too low. They're not always just too high. And make sure your front photo, that main photo, is sharp. Make sure that it's got a solid, nice background. I prefer white. I know Robert doesn't. But make sure whatever you're using for your background is nice and sharp. The plush is nice and centered. It's a good full body, nice, cute face. He or she is, brightly colored and, full frame and all that. Because that front picture can make all the world of difference. If you have a really solid, cute picture of, say, your Pikachu and his little face, and the other 5 Pikachus, somebody's got it thrown on the floor, somebody's got it thrown on the back of a busy patterned couch, somebody else has it tossed on a towel. I've seen some photos. And everybody else's pictures are dark and there's not enough light and they're just kind of crap. You're going to attract people to yours. So, go play WoW and just kill things. I'm actually this close to finishing my Baby Yoda diamond dot painting. Got a couple more dots to do. So I'm actually going to have to go on Amazon tonight and order my Mod Podge and my frame so that I can finish it up and get it all sealed and framed, and then I can show it to you guys. Nerd. If I'm not reading a book, watching horror movies, playing video games, I'm crafting. Nerd. Yeah, some of the Posh prices, it's like, what are they doing? Are they putting a check in there too? Like, here, take my money with the Posh. A wrinkles dog for $25. Way to go, Anna. So the thing with Poshmark is you have to have square photos. Poshmark will cut off all photos and make them look like crap. Jeans, Plush, everybody. You got to have square photos. I have videos on how to do that as well. If you need to search the channel, there's free things that you can use to do that on your computer to change the photos over. There's one called Fast Photo Stone. Search my channel, but there's free things you can use to change all your photos in bulk. And then make sure that moving forward, you change your phone. So you're doing your square photos. Yeah, or it's laying on a dirty carpet with their feet showing. I've seen Plush laying on the bathroom floor with a toilet in the background. I've seen Plush on the top of a toilet lid. I've seen them on dirty beds that aren't made with laundry. No. All right, we're on number 5. Can anybody guess what number 5 is? You should be doing this. Here, I'll give you a hint. This is something that you should be doing every single morning. Or I should say, this is something that you should be doing at a predetermined time, same time, every single day, whatever's more convenient for you. Whether it's first thing in the morning with your coffee, at a predetermined time in the afternoon or the evening. And this should be something that you're doing every single day. And I talk about it all the time. Because if you don't do it, things get stale. Can anybody guess? I don't see anybody guessing, but it could be a delay on the chat. No. Offers to watchers do create sales, but that's not my number 5. There we go. We got it. Somebody said it. So you should be doing this every single day anyway. But if you need a way to refresh your store and make it less stale, and you don't already do this every day, go find some listings that are going to end within the next 24 hours. End them. Go to your unsolds. Sell similar. And that creates them back in the store as new listings. And then you can tweak. If you go one by one, you want to right click and open a new tab so you can tweak the titles and the photos and fart around with the item specifics or whatever you want to do. Or you can do them in bulk. Hi, Sabrina. Welcome in. I do them every day, so I typically do them in bulk unless I see a couple I want to mess around with one-on-one. I just kind of look down the list in the unsolds like really quick. I've been doing that for years, so I'm really fast at it. I could just kind of down the list, right click, open a couple tabs. Those are the ones I want to deal with. I delete them out of the unsolds, deal with those, and the rest I bulk. But you should be doing this every day as it is, and here's why. When things roll over good till canceled, now this is only for one-offs. If you have anything that's multi-quantity that you sell, you have 10 of them listed or hundreds of them listed. If you have multi-quantity of anything, this does not apply to you or to those listings because those listings are different. They get watchers on them. They get repeat offenders, not repeat offenders. I watch too much true crime. They get repeat buyers, not repeat offenders. And they're different. But if you have one-off, which most of us as Plush and used clothing sellers do, when they hit their 30 days and they roll over, automatically on that good till canceled, just rolls them over. Not good till canceled anymore, sorry. When it rolls it over and makes it relist itself, it now is stale, period. Cassini sees that it was listed, it didn't sell, and it's now been there for a month and it's old. It's just the way it is. That's how the algorithm works. It's an old listing after a month. If you end it and sell similar, it is now a new listing. Because once you end it, it's gone. And when you sell similar, that creates a brand new listing. So when you push list on that, it is a brand new, for all purposes and intents and everything else. Cassini sees that as a brand new listing. So the minute you hit send or list or whatever, she pushes it up in the searches. Every brand new listing gets a boost in searches for like the first couple of days for being new, and gets a little bit of preferential treatment. Anything that's stale that's been sitting around gets pushed down. So if you're just letting your stuff roll over and roll over and roll over, the longer it's doing that, month 4, month 5, month 6, not 6th, but month 6, month 7, think about how far down they're being pushed. But if you're just, think back to what I said at the beginning of this video, most things take 3 to 6 months to sell. That's just how it is. Those are the statistics and the numbers on the back end. If you're ending it and relisting it every month yourself, it's a new listing every month. So you're at least getting a better chance of selling it. But you can do that on your own, just real quick, if you want a quick boost, but you should be doing it every day. And then the other thing you can do is refresh your own store, which is you just go into bulk edit and don't change anything, but act like you did. So you just go into your seller hub, like you're going to bulk edit, and then submit. You don't change anything, but Cassini thinks you did. Well, yes and no, Thrifty Space Queen. It makes you look active, and you can kind of trick Cassini thinking that you're listing new stuff, but that will only get you so far. Like, you can get by, if you want to skip, like, the weekend or a couple of days, maybe 4 or 5 days, even just stretching it a little bit, you can do that, but you can't get by for very long on that. You've got to be listing new stuff in order to keep the consistency and the selling going. But if you wanted to take a weekend off or 4 or 5 days off and you wanted to trick Cassini, you could just end and sell similar, and she would think that you're still active in listing. But after so many days of doing that without actually doing the listing, it kind of like screeches to a halt. It doesn't work. Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know. But I think that's just because your listing starts to drop. I think you keep selling and then your listings start to drop and then your sales will start to drop. Anyway, you can refresh your store. Just go in like you're going to edit. Don't change anything. Cassini thinks you did. And then the bonus 6th thing is You could always send offers to watchers, and that can generate sales as well. You can do it in bulk if you're on the computer. I always do it on the computer. I don't like to do it on the phone because on the computer I can just bulk all at once. I do it a couple times a day for different reasons. I kind of feel like I like to hit different people that way because not everyone works 9 to 5. Some people work from home. Some people get home at different times. I don't know. I just like to do them different times throughout the day. And now she's laughing at me because I admitted that I have tried to trick Cassini for days on end. That was back when we were doing all the wholesale and stuff in January. We were trying to work so much stuff that we weren't touching eBay, and I was just doing that. It doesn't work for very long. All right, so real quick before I let you guys go, I'm going to go over these 5 real quick again just to touch base so you remember all 5. But if you have questions, comments, or concerns, throw them over there real quick. I'll try to get to them before I leave. I sound like a used car salesman. All right. You can, I guess, drop your stale items. I had a total brain fart there. Sorry, guys. To create more sales quickly in your store, you can do the following items. The following things should be done routinely, but they can be done in an emergency situation, like pull for emergency. These should be done all the time, but if you need sales quickly and things look slow, pull this lever for emergency sales. Go through your stale items and either just delete them and get rid of them or rework them in some way and sell similar back into the store. Run sales on items in your store. Make sure sales are going on. Check your titles. Make sure you got good keywords and you're following that formula. Check your prices. Drop some of them, 5% or so if they've been around for a couple of months. Make sure you don't have anything priced too low that your stuff looks like it's crap. And end anything that looks like it's going to end on its own and sell similar. And then you can refresh your store as well, and you can always send out offers to watchers. So that is my tips for tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you haven't joined the Facebook group yet, please do so. It's called Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. We are currently doing a listing challenge for the month of February. If you haven't heard, there is a video on the channel you can look for and watch to hear all about the challenge. And we're very actively participating in a thread in the group alongside the challenge. It will go the entire month of February, and I think we're going out 1 week into March. And if it's successful and everybody really likes it and everybody likes the accountability and the achievement from it, we might even just make this like a monthly thing. I don't know yet. Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. Hit the thumbs up before you leave. Subscribe to the channel. My hippos are hungry. They need fed. And go be productive. Go make some money. And as always, guys, thank you so much for joining me, spending an hour with me, and listening to me fumble around and try to talk and butcher the English language. Thanks, guys. Bye. You're the best.